Email to what up, everyone? It's gonna wait a minute. Do 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 da 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 da. Forgot to set this ahead of time. Portrait. Landscape. Huh. Welcome, everyone. Just give me a few minutes. Dark mode needed. Okay. All right, now that I've pretty much posted everywhere, and I am locked in. Okay, so where was I? We understood on the last stream. We saw kind of like a retarded video of someone who clearly either hasn't used GapheneOS or maybe just likes Apple that much. I don't know. Whatever reasoning it was just a little bit silly in my opinion. Then we looked at what is a rooted phone, and we kind of looked at also how the different Android ecosystems that are forked essentially work in terms of privacy, security updates, how they apply these pretty much updates and policies. And people always ask, like, what apps do I install? How do I go about this? This is kind of a very difficult question to ask because everyone's going to set up their phone differently. And not only they're going to set it up differently, they're going to, in a sense, not like your threat model might not match theirs, your setup might not match theirs, and even just your needs aren't going to match each other. I mean, not everything has to be the same. Everybody should approach everything like how they see fit. How I set up mine is somewhat relevant, but irrelevant, I guess. Relevant in the fact of where you should start. You should always start where what apps you need, and there, I believe. There's an app for this that shows you, it's like an application. I think there's a website now. Graphene Go. Maybe. Maybe I should do a curated list of apps that I use in my GitHub. So this is from 2025. Privacy, security, freedom enthusiasts, welcome here. It seems, I don't know why people suggest the Aurora store as well. I think that should be you shouldn't even use it. Personally, I mean, F-Droid is far better. The Aurora store just doesn't make any sense. Common apps. Signal works, I can confirm this. Session works, I can confirm. Briar works, confirmed. Jammy works, confirmed. Jammy kind of sucks though. Jitsi Meet, haven't used it, not confirmed for me. Email 2 to notice, confirmed to work. Notifications also work. Proton works. Don't know what email that is. I don't use K9. I use Thunderbird. Not Thunderbird. I use Fairmail as my email client. VLC, Android works probably. Map apps. I don't use Magic Earth because it's proprietary. I stopped using organic maps. I actually use co-maps or cop maps or co-op maps or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like a fork of it because people have different. They just have different opinions on how they want to run it. Not FOSS. Browsers. Vanadium works obviously. It's their stock browser. Brave works fine. Firefox Focus wouldn't touch it. Tor works. Moji privacy browser. Haven't really used it to be completely honest. VPN, I just use Mullvad, and I've used IVPN. NextDNS is meh. I've used all three of these, but I just now use Mullvad. Sometimes I'll switch to IVPN for the funnies. It's a little bit more expensive though for what you get. It's like kind of the same thing. I don't know. I think Mullvad's pricing makes the most sense. Maybe they have a reason they can get it that low. Could be a plethora of reasons. Weather apps, I just go to the web browser and fucking, I don't need a weather app. Essentially, KeyPass works. SyncThing, still don't know if I should trust it or not. Falsify voice recorder task. Keyboards, I just use Futo. I used Florisboard, but I had I had so many problems with it. And I've used OpenBoard as well. And I've just never had good experiences with either. This is interesting. I thought TechLore made a website for stuff like this. But how you should attain apps is kind of interesting. I use Obtainium. Obtainium is kind of like the main way I do it. I think it's one of the best options. And we can open up some more tabs. How to verify. This is kind of important in general. Okay. To verify an Android app, check its permissions user with App Verifier. Maybe this is this is kind of like important too, because you should know what you should kind of know, like these apps are like from verified trusted source. Never say final. It is the final boss. It's not the last thing I'll ever do on GapheneOS, though. I'm sure that I'll. This is something like super important too. So, super easy to understand. To verify software with PGP in Linux, you need to download the software's public key, import it, download the PGP signature file, and then use a command like gpg tac verify to check the signature against the software file. This process ensures that the software has not been tampered with and is authentic. You ate too much? Nice. So app verifier, super easy to understand. App verifier is an app signing certificate hash viewer and verifier. It enables you to easily verify the apps that are genuine with others. App verify takes app's package name and signing certificate hashes and compares them to the ones you provide or the ones on the internal database to verify the apps are genuine. You can simply share the verification info to others and receive verification info from them, and share and receive the verification info to App Verifier, and you will see the verification status. App Verifier does the heavy lifting for you. Yeah, the package name SHA-256 hash is the signing certificate below. So you can verify App Verifier with the APK signer, and using APK signer verify print certs app verify APK. If you're downloading the APK, if you are downloading it from a Crescent, then you should verify a Crescent here itself here. And then these are the public key cryptographic keys. It also be found in Blue Sky posts to distrust the website. It's encouraged to verify the same with other people as well for assurance. Always verify your software. What up, Brain Offline? So, where's my graphene? I wish I could screencast my thing. So my most important apps is local send, can I make a tier list? Will this work? Or don't I have to make it's gonna offer GAMP. Open tier boy, craft rank, and share. Yo! Remember, there's always an open source version of something. This is kind of funny. Okay. We'll do SS tier. It's all games. Damn it. I guess I'll. Fuck, I should have thought about this. Let's see. Damn. So we'll just go to F-Droid because Obtainium doesn't have a fucking apps or anything. So let's do Joplin. That's very important to me. Save image. Can I do computer? Home. Downloads. Let's do list. Let's see. Okay, so Joplin definitely. Or what else do I use a lot? I use Comaps. Okay, let's just test. Recent. Okay. Oh wow, it looks clean too. Wow, very clean option. And these are like going to be like apps that like I can verify that they work. Ooh, privacy.com. That's another one. Privacy.com is a great app. I would say I'll just do this. Probably a very underrated app that I don't think people realize it's super good. Joplin for my notes. Ooh, eTar. That's what I use for my calendar. Definitely Signal. Well, actually, I lied. I use Molly. Ooh. The fuck? I'm just saying I can't use Signal. Why? Why wouldn't you be able to use Signal though? It's pretty based. Oh, it's all links. I actually use the Molly Foss. I'm the only one using it. I mean, I guess. I get it. It's not really good if you're the only one who uses it. That's why you got to convince them. Install it without their permission. I don't use a lot of apps. Ooh. The fuck? You force them by installing without their permission. Do the right thing. Less apps, the better. Yeah. Yes and no. There's some sometimes I inconvenience myself. Oh, there's I guess there's another one. There's one I like. So, hello everyone. What's going on, man? Appreciate you joining. There's another one I like. I know this seems kind of silly, so I don't like downloading an app for loyalty cards. But I don't want to lose loyalty points or whatever their fucking thing they want to call it. And I use this. This is awesome. I use this a lot. And I've never had an issue with I've never had an issue with it working. I think the only thing I had the biggest issue with was banking apps, to be completely honest. Oh, yeah, banking apps. But this is going to be like my most used apps. I can't get a PNG of privacy.com, but that's okay. It's there. It's there. You know. Maybe I can just do it this way. These are weird generated photos. I don't know if they're real. What the fuck? I can't think of one. Damn. I guess this one? It's not I don't think it's like it's not the most required thing, but it's just nice to be able to shop online. And if you use privacy boobs, for real. The thing is, if you're going to use your debit card and they don't offer a virtual service or anything, just use privacy.com. Yes, you're granting access to like a third party, but it's better to, in this case, it's better to honestly only have one company have your card information. It's very rare that I'll take the stance on, I mean, if you don't have credit card, like a lot of credit cards offer like virtual cards, and that's what I generally do. If like a place doesn't accept cash, or if I'm making a purchase where I'm not leaving my house, you can always, it's better to have a private, if my bank offered native virtual cards for my debit card, I wouldn't use privacy.com because it wouldn't be a need. Never heard of privacy.com? It's a good card. I mean, it's a good service. It's free. They just give you virtual cards. It's simple. Again, yes, you're entrusting a third party, but I mean, they're not doing anything. They're not. It could be. It's worse to just have your fucking cards, your debit card, just floating all over the internet. I mean, Monero would be the preferred method. Virtual cards prepaid cards that I purchase would be, preferred, but whatever. Sometimes prepaid cards just don't work. It's great. My bank just doesn't. They're 300 years behind, apparently. Modern tech. I mean, there are banks that offer hardware support, hardware 2FA keys support, and some of the largest banks that I come across don't. A really good website is, if you want to know it, passkey support. Tells you if they support passkeys. It's called passkeys.io. Passkeys directory is another one. Good website. By Hanko. My eyes. Why did it do that? Uh, Hancock. Don't know what that is. Hanko.io. Don't know what they do, but a lot of these sites are starting to grow. Twitter, Vercel. Isn't Vercel like some Stripe checkout, Tailscale, Shopify, Roblox, Robinhood, Pork Bun, Papermark. Don't know what that is. You know, good site. And then there's the other one. I think it's weird that people fear like GapheneOS, like, oh, it's not going to work. It's going to work. They've made it very they've made it very lucrative. Not lucrative. They've made it very easy to work with. And there's some sites here I've never even heard of. Checkspend.com. Wow, CVS. Wow, Deutsche Telekom. Wow. Dext. Wow, Dynor. Wow, Discord. You know. Wow, Facebook. You know, stuff like that. It's just, wow, Gemini Exchange. Terrible exchange. Don't use them. I mean, there's some. It tells you if it supports MFA, sign in, like one-time sign in, MFA, etc., etc. So, continue as I look through the list of non-existent apps I use. SimpleX. I'm not going to put every messaging app I use because I use a lot. Some of them are just really business related. With YouTube. Microsoft Teams unfortunately works. I'm not putting that shit up there, but I've had to use it before. Just trust my word, it works. Unfortunately, Microsoft Teams works. What else? What else do I use? I use a lot of the native apps built in, like Contacts, Calendar, Etar is the only one. Oh yeah, Tuda. Noda. Not gonna lie, I don't like how they changed their name to Tuda. It just sounds goofy. Do 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 do. So so far out of these, Tuda definitely S tier on the list of just email providers and something that I would consider probably my most loved app. I had an issue with T-Life that I have to use to control account. They fixed it, but I only use it when I have to. What's T-Life? Yeah, probably my S tier is my email. T-Mobile service account app with ads. Oh, Jesus Christ, that sounds terrible. I would say Mulvad, definitely S tier. Signal, probably Signal. I use Signal a lot too. Joplin for my notes. Cantina would probably be A tier with AIDS. Yeah, sounds like it actually. Nothing worse is proprietary software is having to use proprietary software to manage your account with ads built in. Prepaid comes in handy sometimes, you know. You just pay your shit ahead of time and just be done with it. Maps would be probably B tier. Actually, no, Etar is much more stable, and I would say Co-Maps, it still needs some polishing, and it still needs some work. I mean, Discord works, Element works. Ooh. Another one I use a lot. I run a family account of 6 users. Sorry to hear that. that sounds like AIDS too. Hope you're collecting. But, I mean, not everyone is privacy conscious, so... And some people don't want to shell out $1,000 for a phone. Like, I get it. And it's probably cheaper that way. I lied. I'm going to bump this here. Signal, S tier, Joplin, Mulvad, here, this here. Yeah, I need mine. I collect, but never enough. Yeah, that sounds about right. You gotta trust people. You gotta trust. Especially even if it's your family, you gotta trust them. I said I would. I don't know. I would probably, even if it was someone I enjoyed, it'd be very hard for me to get any form of contract with them. Or non-contract. I don't know. Maybe I'm just Miss Independent. So a non-addy works excellent. And these are endorsements of these apps in terms of like, I think that they're better than other apps. There's other alternatives out there. I went from simple login to a non-addy. Love it. I left Proton to Tutanota. Love it. They're separate. That reminds me about something. Is it okay? They're separate in terms of like what they're. Proton owns. I wanted to do a no KYC sim. Yeah, a little difficult. I mean, if it works out, if it's financially, I tell people to do whatever is best for them at the end of the day. Like, that's just the reality of it. You need to take care of yourself, like mentally, and you need to take care of yourself, whatever is best for you financially. That's generally my advice. If they're are things that give up some level of privacy for XYZ, and it's more efficient and it's better for you. I see no wrong with it. And it's never good to beat you up yourself about certain things. Like, I know people that are very privacy centric and they have Facebook because they're like, this is the only way that people talk to me. And you can't isolate yourself in this and just have an online community of people that you talk to, because that's just not how, humans don't work that well that way, whether you like them or not or whatever. Being extremely private is it's a very lonely, isolated type of feeling. And I know some people that go through the extreme, they realize it, they snap out of it, and they go back. They're like, wait, I'm doing too much. I'm not a fugitive hiding from the NSA. Like, and I don't mean that to devalue, like, you need to have that, like, threat model to care about privacy, but I think that a lot of people get caught up, especially when they're new to it, or when they've, I mean, like, to put it, into example, I compromised at just having an Element server, and I went to having a Discord server because a lot of people use Discord. I compromised on having a Twitter presence and owning, making sure my name doesn't get not really like copyrighted, but I know the risk that, and I'm not a criminal, but I'm tired of the spy crap. Yeah, 100%. I think everyone is to a certain degree, but I only made my presence on like social media outside of YouTube, which I never really wanted to do, was because I had a conversation with somebody, and they said you should own your brand and make sure that you own, quote unquote, your name if you're going to do this, like, for the long term. And I had to make a lot of decision making in between that. I also, between YouTube's, my channel's 4 years old, I had a certain milestone where I can monetize it. I had a lot of conflicting problems with monetization, and this is just a way to understand, like, the thought process I have. Because if I monetize, I don't want. How the heck did XMR become $75 for the longest time? Now it's almost 1K. It could be I don't know. A lot of people could just be flocking to it, and it might be a pump, and it might correct itself. No one really knows. Also, it gets delisted, and there's a bunch of other. If you go back and, like, listen to me rant about Monero's problems, I mean, you can kind of, like, figure out why. But when I was getting into privacy, I went the extreme route, and it was very complicated. And it became very, very hard. Just like when I first started this channel, coming with the terms of, I'm on YouTube because I want to reach the broadest audience, and I wanted them to find private, open source alternatives. Even though that might lose me subscribers in the long run, it doesn't really matter. And then monetization really just helps me not put more time into YouTube and want to be a full-time YouTuber or anything, but it allows me to take any form of money and push it maybe to, like, donating it to free and open source projects, etc., or just having people understand the commitment to make to free and open source projects. I kind of got the framing of it from another YouTuber that I watch. He explains that, we live in a capitalist society. Whether you like it or not, you should be compensated fairly for your time anywhere, and that's how it should be, regardless of how you view it. And the thing is, I whether if it's big or small, I keep people on YouTube. I'm providing YouTube free labor, and that didn't sit right with me. And because it doesn't sit right with me, I decided to turn on monetization. But I probably won't do, like, I haven't hit, like, the 4,000 hour mark yet. I'm like about 400 hours away. But even if I do, YouTubers can control the amount of ads they have and, like, mid-roll ads they have. They can actually like turn them off and place them to a certain degree. That fundamentally is something that's probably, and I embrace people to run an ad blocker because I don't really care. I'm more about value for value. If you see value and you want to donate to because you see the value, that's completely fine. If you don't, that's completely fine. I appreciate the people that do, and I appreciate the people that just sit there and watch and listen to me rant, I guess, for like an hour or two a day. So that's, but that's something that I had to come to terms with. Just like in my privacy journey, I had to come to terms with there are things that I'm going to give up that inherently go against some core belief, like running Discord, because it's not free and open source, but more people use it, and I can reach a broader audience at the end of the day. Just like YouTube. If I was doing this only on like Kick or PeerTube or BitChute or BitChat or fucking RetardGram or whatever, I wouldn't be reaching a broader audience. I did contemplate at one point like going over to like TikTok or something like that, but that just gave me cancer even thinking about it, and I'll just stick here. But that's and it's okay that you know the risk. And we obviously know people people are hopefully would not admit they're criminals if they are or not. But I think the issue is it does still come down to a simple fundamental perspective is not what just the risk is and being tired of all the spy stuff or whatever. It's what's more convenient for you, what's financially better for you, what's better for your mental health to a certain degree, because you can get privacy burnt out, and then you just think everything's compromised, and you're just going to be like really like just an unproductive person in this space for yourself. It's really for yourself. I mean, that's just how I kind of view it. Coming from a person who went like super extreme and then realized that like that's just it's not realistic. That's kind of like the problem. Like when I switched from Proton, when I switched from Gmail to Proton, I switched from Proton to Tutanota based on the fact that they used no Google Play services and they rewrote their own notification service. I went from Signal to Session and went back from Session back to Signal. I've left Joplin to check out Obsidian. This is why you always have a good backup, by the way. I've pretty much stuck with Mulvad for the foreseeable future for a very long time because of just how inexpensive they are and their contribution they do to maintaining privacy and maintaining a good code of ethics, is I would say, as far as we know, in 2026. Map providers I've switched a million times. Catinum I've used for a very long time. I like it. It's you just take the card and you just put it in there and then it's there. And then calendars I've jumped all over the place with too. You'll kind of eventually figure out like what works for you and what's the best options for you, especially if you experiment a lot. I mean, that's just like distro hopping too. And if you don't really like the spy crap, just put your phone in airplane mode for when you don't need it. I mean, that's always a good thing to do. But I digress. That's like rant and rant kind of thing. Ooh, what's another one? Whew. Don't use the Aurora Store though. There's a reason. There is actually a reason why they don't recommend the Aurora Store, and it's the way they set it up. I actually used the Aurora Store in the way beginning, when I used Calyx OS, and even before that, when I had a OnePlus. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Very awesome. Thank you. Maybe if I hit a certain milestone, I'll die cut my own stickers and send them out for the funnies, or something, or I'll 3D print something. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Or I'll do nothing. I'll do absolutely nothing. There's a person I donated to Patreon, and they're like, they tell you what you get with like level 1, and he's like level 2 is like $2 more, and he's like, you give me $2 more, and I just laughed. This was it. So and this comes from a place of being very humble. I used the Aurora store, and I was super unaware of. Nothing is fine with me. No, I appreciate everyone that does help contribute to me continuing to do this as much as possible. I don't know if I'd ever do YouTube full time, just because of how inconsistent the ads are, and your channel can get deleted really whenever. And I'm trying to figure out a strategy to get all my content like kind of like everywhere. This is why I like Josh from Side of a Burritos. He runs Yellow Ball, which is the podcasting, and it has really good integration with Podcast 2.0, which puts it on IPFS, so that in the event of if a hosting provider ever, I stopped using that store just based on the instincts. Yeah, no, it's a way they do it's a way the signing in works. It's like one user profile. So they said, if I remember correctly, we're about to find out if I'm wrong or not, the way that they do the store. So the store is set up in a way where it's like one user, and this user agent essentially someone could upload a malicious package to this without verifying it. Again, I could be wrong, without verifying it, and because of that, you could be getting a malicious package. Everything is granted access to everything. Yeah, you could be getting a malicious application, and I think they don't update it for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure. It's actually kind of crazy. Google services are sandbox. That means it runs as a standard app rather than an administrative process. It can uninstall, disable it, or its permissions can change like any other application. Aurora is insecure. It doesn't use a reduced CA set that doesn't properly verify metadata. Your account could be banned if you use Google accounts to log on Aurora. So I believe that's what it was, one of it. It has no privacy benefits compared to the anonymous Google account disclosure. I use Aurora. I think someone even said that is like the better option would be to just use a Google Play service that you've never touched with any of your applications, that is fresh, and you use obviously like a VPN if you can to set it up and make it. Maybe on public Wi-Fi would be a little bit better, and then you download your apps and uninstall it and move on. Because especially if the apps don't rely on the Google Play service on the back end, which the majority of them don't. Besides banking apps, again, which you could just make the root profile with Google Play service, your banking apps, and then all the other apps you can just install in a separate profile if you're that concerned. But remember, what we learned yesterday is that apps within the same profile need explicit permission to share information. That's like kind of like the simplest way to understand it, which is interesting to even know about. It's delayed. Is even to discover that a lot of people get that wrong. And again, this comes down to being able to read and understand that things are not always the same as you think. Just like I said, like I used the Aurora store in the past. I suggested it, I think, in the past, I believe, and I think even on my YouTube channel when I was running GapheneOS, I was telling people to use the Aurora store, and I was using it at the time. And I don't take things down because I make mistakes. I want to correct these mistakes, people to go back and say, so they can see that, hey, I made this mistake, and hold accountability. So if I told people to use the Aurora store, I take it back. Don't use it. It's certificate authority. You see the wiki page. It used it's used to encrypt your network traffic in general. It's more secure for an app to use a certificate pinning and only trust the reduced set of CAs. And since there's some untrusted CAs out there, it also makes it harder for the attacker to install. Okay. I remember it was stated several times on a form that Aurora does not perform signature ESI keying check when downloading and installing an app. Neither does Obtainium, though. Its main advantage is being able to download from the Play Store without creating an account. Regarding the Play Store, there is an article on how to create a fake account. Maybe I could write that too. I personally use the Aurora in the profile. I want to remain private simply because I found it impossible to create a Google account anonymously. There's always a prompt for a phone number, and the temporary numbers are not accepted. The paid site for the phone verification in the article, I linked 15 to 5 to 15% success ratio. According to themselves, I did not want to waste money for something that may not work at all. That is actually going to an interesting. I will do a poll on that right now. Would people like to see how to create Sorry, guys, need to write down before I forget. Interesting. I personally use World Profile. Got it. Said fucking central authority. Needed Obtainium. It automatically prompts you to share the APK with APK verifier. Yep. Other than that, what would Obtainium be checking? No question the fact that Play Store and a Crescent is the only recommended secure way of getting apps. Each user experience, but more privacy. Inclined members of this community seek alternatives to preserve much privacy. Problem with App Verifier is half my apps are not in the database, and they are false positives when the database gets outdated. It would be ideal. Actually, I think the App Verifier even tells you that even though it might not match in the database, that doesn't mean it's a false positive. I believe this is a misconception, and I believe it explicitly tells you, if I remember correctly. I haven't downloaded the app in a minute, but it says, if it says does not match or whatever thing, it tells you that it might be a false positive. Don't worry, as long as you match the public APK signing file to what you have, then, and you can it even tells you explicitly again. To share with other people to see if you have the same fingerprint. If everyone has the same fingerprint, the likelihood of it being a false positive is kind of, unlikely. My impression is the privacy discussion around the Aurora Store are always taking place here. At least one new thread topic created every week. I'm trying to replace most apps with open source F-Droid. If F-Droid doesn't have what I'm looking for, I attempt to use web apps by adding web app shortcuts to the home screen from the web browser and then using Aurora Store next and Google Play as the last resort. I'm thinking about eliminating Aurora Store by creating a burner Google account and then using the Play Store exclusively. If the Play Store and all apps individually sandbox, why would I need a separate profile for apps Google Play? Typically uniform type yourself, you haven't provided any perspective that is actually sent. If you consider my previous post rude, you must be fine with specimen with very low threshold for rudeness. To me, using the Aurora Store as much makes sense since I'm not your average user and wouldn't use it to download all sorts of privacy invasive stuff, apps just to work without Play services. Lastly, labeling other people in a way being done here is not something, no. Oh, if you want to give Google service permissions without access, some kind of, or disable the Google assist by easily exploit mitigation in the case shows is case somehow service was exploited somehow. Okay, blah 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 blah. If you use the Aurora with the anonymous option, then Google does not get your list of installed apps, which they can use for fingerprint. Aurora knows what you downloaded, but they cannot link those downloads to your daily activity as Google can through Play services. As far as I can tell, it's not completely wrong. Depending on the settings in Aurora, it looks like Aurora does send a package list to Google to figure out which apps can be updated, even when you select anonymous option, so it's possible to fingerprint users. Interesting. Also, Google knows Auroras exist. It wouldn't be surprising if they know what accounts are anonymous, Aurora accounts. At the end of the day, Aurora is just a different front end of Google Play that's objectively less secure than the Google Play. You can create a Google account with a fake name, but as soon as you want to buy an app, they will require some data that is linked to your official ID. Aurora is not the solution, but it is the false claim to Google Play Store. I use private friend manner when you need paid apps. Who's making that claim? It should be obvious that if you provide Google with your personal information when using an anonymous Tor account, it will no longer be anonymous. Yeah, that is kind of a interesting way to think about that. You can't buy applications on anonymous Google accounts on Aurora anyways, so I fail to see your point. It's true. I never said this. I explicitly said it would. Okay. It's just a bunch of nerds arguing. Ooh, that was from 2025. I don't even use the Aurora Store anymore, again, because Obtainium and again, if people want me to make a video on how to get an anonymous Google account, I have achieved this with a burner number. There is a second way that I want to try this. I've been wanting to check out Silent Link. Silent Link is kind of based it's their Silent Link looks cool and promising for people that want to have the ability to have data everywhere. It is somewhat expensive to a certain degree for this initial setup, but they do accept Monero and Lightning. But if there are enough people that are interested in this, I will do a guided setup, how to set up a Google Play, Google account anonymously as possible, maintains its anonymity as much as possible to pretty much use the Google Play service to download apps. Again, you should download only apps that respect your freedom. There are free and open source apps that are on the Play Store as well. It's not just that they're just on F-Droid or just getting pure APKs, but if this is something that people want, by all means, especially if they need to get, I mean, if you get a banking app, it's kind of silly. But if you want to get other apps but maintain a Google account for maybe what's the word? Maybe you need a Gmail for work, blah blah blah, and etc. etc. There, I do have some thoughts on how to maintain getting a Gmail, getting a Google account privately as possible. Let's listen to some nerds from 2024. Due to the process of building apps in the official F-Droid repository often fail behind updates. F-Droid maintainers also reuse package IDs while signing apps with their own keys, which is not ideal, as it gives F-Droid the team ultimate trust. Additionally, the requirements for the app to be included in the F-Droid official repo are less strict than other apps like Google Play, meaning that F-Droid tends to host a lot more apps which are older. um, unmaintained or otherwise no longer meets modern security standards. All that applies only to F-Droid and not Aurora. Calyx frequently spreads misinformation about Sandbox, Google Play, and MicroG that falsely claim that MicroG approach avoids running proprietary Play code, which is untrue. Reality is you guys give more access to proprietary Google Play code on CalyxOS than with GapheneOS. Maybe I am confused, but MicroG client with Calyx runs is open source, i.e. GSM Core. MicroG can be a user app, see DiveOS, but for a lot of functionality, MicroG needs system privilege X safety net bypass. What I know for a fact is proprietary of the DroidGuard system that MicroG uses to bypass safety net. Also, of course, for providing push notifications, MicroG contacts Google Firebase. But this is an issue for both Google Play Service Sandbox and MicroG. And the alternative is using apps supporting something like Unified Push for push notifications. So it seems like this is something wouldn't recommend the order store for several reasons. Is unreliable and constantly breaks, is buggy and doesn't have a good UI, is completely reliant on Google and Google could pull the plug at any moment, which would render the Aurora store unstable. Play app signing. Some apps check if they're installed from the Play Store, and if they aren't, they will not work. Play services like Play Asset Delivery, Play Feature Delivery, and App Content License checks aren't available, and a lot of data gets sent to Google, like your IP address, your device model, and your app list, etc. There are 2 more points that I should add. Aurora Store is known to retrieve the wrong version of apps, doesn't verify signed metadata, and no certificate pinning, which I'm not entirely sure what that is, but that might be not as relevant. Let's see. Did I read it wrong? Oh, what is certificate pinning? I think that's what they meant. Certificate pinning is a security practice that involves hard coding a specific digital certificate or public key into an application, ensuring that it only communicates with a trusted server. This method helps prevent man-in-the-middle attacks by blocking connections to servers that do not present themselves. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's not good. This is only 2 years ago. No shit statement. Null is really happens all the time with front ends. People arguing over what's the better way to do this. I know it's a shared account too. The shared account is a concern. and that concern might melt away. Requires an account, same goes for the Aurora store, but it's not. But you're just using a shared account. I think they. Kind of go over this anyways. Oh, well, that loads. I must get more water. Whew. Okay. Maybe that is. I gotta finish the Git stack first video first. Jesus, fuck my eyes. Alright. Oh, damn, it's the same shit. Maybe this. Google services are sandboxed. Yeah, this is new. Okay. I think it's just in the privacy guides too. Recommendations. Alternative distributions, general apps. No. Yo, Shelter. That's a sick one. I remember when I used Shelter. Titanium. Aurora Store is a Google Play service client which does not require Google account, services, or MicroG to download apps. Aurora Store does not allow you to download apps with their anonymous count feature. You can optionally log in with your Google account with the Aurora Store to download apps you have purchased, which does give you access to the list of apps you've installed to Google. However, you still benefited from not requiring the full Google Play client, service, Play service, MicroG on the device. Oh, you forgot you can do RSS feeds. You can actually get updates via RSS, which is kind of crazy. Verifying APK fingerprints. If you download an APK file to install manually, you can verify the signature with the APK signer tool, which is part of the Android build tools. Install Java, download the Android Studio recommend, and then you just do this. F-Droid, we only recommend F-Droid as a way to obtain apps which cannot be obtained via Windows Buzz. F-Droid is often recommended as an alternative to Google Play, particularly, and then they go over why you shouldn't use F-Droid. I don't know. I prefer F-Droid over the Aurora Store. I don't know. I don't get the love for it. I kind of like Obtainium and a Crescent, which is weird that they don't have the Crescent store on here. A Crescent automatically. Maybe this hasn't been updated. That's crazy that they recommend the Aurora store and not the Crescent. Crescent is recommended not only by GapheneOS. You can get RSS updates from the dev if available. Yeah, it's my preferred method sometimes. I run a RSS like fresh RSS locally. Google Pixel is their only option. General purchasing advice. Be very careful after buying a secondhand phone from online marketplaces. Always check the reputation of the seller. Do not buy devices that have reached or near the end of life. Additional firmware updates must be provided manufacturer. Do not buy preloaded Lineage S or EOS phones or Android phones without proper verified boot. In short, if a device is not listed here, there's probably a good reason. Check our forum for details. That's interesting. Okay. Learn something new. Yeah, I still would not use the Aurora store. To be completely honest. Status silent, cannot be changed. NFC tile pushing off since update. Read my Google setup. Huh. I get Signal updates directly from Signal. Yeah, that is nice of them. You may want to search this forum for information about using Aurora and F-Droid. I do use Molly, so I can have 2 Signal accounts within a profile. Signal official app and Molly. The database encryption approaches are a trade-off, though, with Signal slightly better for protecting against remote high-end spyware from dumping the whole DB, while Molly is more optimized to protect the DB's key from offline forensics like Celebrite machine. If malware can escape the sandbox, escalate privilege, and pull the keys of the message database from the secure enclave, thus defeating Signal's deeper protection, it can more easily just hook into your keystrokes typing. Yeah, that's true. Less important but still worth mentioning, adding another middleman between Signal's source code and me is trusting an additional party. It doesn't need to be there, of course. You can argue it's open source, has reputable builds, etc., but it's not personally reading every commit and verifying every build and distributing. That's true. For notifications, I just use Signal's WebSocket-based notifications. Battery life is still fine. I assume you live in a country where banks require Play services. Why not use the mobile site via Vadium to greatly simplify your setup? Why F-Droid and not Obtainium? Obtainium can download from F-Droid for fewer apps that don't publish APKs to the repo. That's true. I heard of Obtainium, but haven't looked much into it until you mentioned. Settings firewall. Universal firewall rules block when source apps are known on. Block upon DNS bypass. WireGuard to commercial VPN setup. Always on block bypass. Regular check activity logs for DNS queries. Search provider DuckDuckGo. Privacy and security cross-origin reference policy. Reduce cross-origin refers. WebRTC IP handling policy. All my banking apps work. I just need 2FA every time because it won't remember as a trusted ASC keyboard instead of Gboard this profile since it's easy. I should do a GitHub, right? Maybe a blog post or a blog post and then a Git push to a repo of how I set up my GapheneOS and how it's. InfoSec nerd is an interesting. Turn off Wi-Fi automatically every 2 minutes. Turn off Bluetooth automatically 5 minutes. Memory tagging, native code debugging, block, default, unblocked, long passphrase, additional lock screen. Extra notifications on lock screen, show private info off. I just don't have notifications on, to be completely honest, half the time. I get I have one for YouTube, but it's really it only tells me when notifications suck, man. WebView JIT disabled by default. Dynamic code loading, memory restricted by default. Secure apps spawning enabled. It's good. Save screenshot timestamp to exit off. Encryption and profile data. Trusted certificate disabled. Disable. You don't want to notify by system process crashes. Location. GapheneOS proxy. Signal account not linked to any other device. GapheneOS Sandbox is way better than any other laptop desktop that isn't a single purpose VM with a trusted hypervisor. Account registration locked as long as password, not just numbers. Chats create link preview off. Privacy. Molly similar to Signal. Interesting. F-Droid. Cryptomator. Cryptomator is kind of an interesting standpoint. Gboard no permissions. Google camera turned off. Google clock. The fuck? Google markup. Google files. None. No. Never. Interesting. I don't use any of those. Rethink DNS nightly from GitHub. Earlier version can be unusable. Block, add privacy, Android services library, block list, prevent DNS leaks on. Wouldn't it be better just to get I guess, not entirely sure. Retro music, all my music is local, streaming seems dumb. Yeah. Streaming is kind of stupid. Music-wise, just buy from the artist. We have too much choice at this point. Bank profile. That's pretty much what it boils down to, is the bank profile, which I think you could do that. You could set up GapheneOS in a way that you could set up a profile just for banking and just have Google Play service on that to make sure, and then just make sure you're getting updates. That's it. Feature V8 VM features disabled, GPU disabled, hardware acceleration, video encoding disabled, TLOS 1.3 early data enabled, strict origin isolation embedded, tracker protection. The fuck? Oh, Chrome. ID is threat surface reduction and enhanced privacy. Not 100% sure. Not 100% all of these do so, but seems likely they do. Tracking protection, language detection, web-based preferences, enable fingerprinting protection, block list. Seems solid, but there's my one. Phones and texts, no other notifications. I check stuff regularly, no need to interruption. I rip my CDs and use Plex. Do you, what is this? This is software that I used to rip CDs, because I got a CD ripper. What's it called? This is what I use. It's great. CD Paranoia. I don't know if you're on Linux, but this is excellent. Simple. Came out September 11th. Fingerprint I use for apps, but password handbrake. What's fingerprint? Or what do you mean by password handbrake? Yeah, paranoia is cool. Very easy to command line tool. Ooh, another big one I use. Link Droid. This is for like my self-hosted stuff. Like I use Link Droid, Image. Those are probably like definitely like S tier. Image definitely S tier. Link Droid A tier. It's, and I have a few more apps than this, like in general, but there isn't really a good there isn't really a good list that you could give out and be like, oh, these are all, because I self-host so much, and a lot of them don't have native apps. You got to use progressive web apps. Like Heidi Mall doesn't have a native app built into it. Pulse doesn't have a native app. There is a Proxmox app, but it's for just monitoring and seeing like your virtual machines and your containers and everything. And it's definitely not. It's definitely nice. Joplin, obviously, it's a server, so I can connect Joplin to it. Wiki.js, not really a native app for it. I mainly use it for just internal documents of like fuck ups that I do that I add to like my blog. Handbrake is what I use to rip DB. Oh, okay. Oh, you don't use your fingerprint? Yeah. So fundamentally, fingerprint has its pros and cons. The pro is it's convenient and it prevents someone from knowing your PIN. You can do PIN scrambling, but the con is I don't think it's protected. In America, at least, it's not protected under the Fourth Amendment, which they can seize your stuff with it. A PIN, I think, has been proven in court, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. PINs have been proven in court to be protected under illegal searches and seizures. So, again, not a lawyer, but I think they both have their pros and cons. When I'm out of country, I generally use fingerprint. Not because I have no rights regardless. I'm in a different country. But I don't want someone to shoulder surf and see my PIN. But around here, I have the Duress PIN set up with fingerprints for specific apps. Or it will default to the PIN anyways. And I actually, if the app allows me to do it, I do a biometric authentication or PIN authentication to open it. So people can just pick it up and use that app. Yeah, from my understanding of the PIN law. Yeah. PINs have stronger protection in a lot of cases. And then, obviously, the Duress pen is one of GapheneOS's best features. I mean, I can literally... I know it doesn't support AirTags, guys. I'm gonna hurt everyone's feelings right now. It might make you leave. No AirTag support, and no this brace for impact. Brace it. I can't use iMessage. Fucking devastating, I know. Oh God, let me get a big boo in the chat. Sorry guys. No iMessage. Yeah, I know. Boo, yeah. Awful. The hoes hate me. Guys, I need to put that up here in S tier. No iMessage allowed. So there's devastating, I know. There's not really such a greater feature that's been implemented into GapheneOS since I know this sounds kind of stupid. I like that they want to create a local database from Wi-Fi access points in order to make maps more efficient. Good luck dating. Jay, when I say I've gotten dates to install Signal to communicate with me, that just want to, on principle, it will work. Like, people will ask for my number, or I'll ask for if we're vibing. This isn't like a flex to think like I'm some like dating guru. Look, all these online fucking coaches that teach people how to get dates it's the gayest thing the internet has come out of the internet. iMessage is not the king. I'm done dating. That's fair. That's fair. All I'm saying is the gayest thing to come out of the internet is dating coaches. That is the gayest thing that the internet has spawned into a business model. Find a hobby. Enjoy the hobby. I'm the only one besides my brother-in-law. Everyone has iPhones. I don't mean if everyone jumped off a bridge. Find a hobby. Enjoy the hobby. You will find people you connect with said hobby. You will most likely find someone that enjoys the hobby with you, and then you can go on dates. I'm not saying... I'm joking also. We know you're not, Jay. Jay, you have a wife, so you can make these jokes. That's generally how most of the people I've ever met, they're like, oh, we met like on a bowling league. If people still do that. Or at my local fucking run. I'm not saying you have to do a hobby just to meet with ladies, but or men, whatever you're into. You know, no disrespect. If you want to find a partner, find a hobby. Just find really cool hobbies. Don't find hobbies that I do, apparently, because my hobbies are all like fucking like hermit shit, where I don't get to leave my house and enjoy them. But if you find hobbies where you get to touch grass, you generally will find people that you like. And then you're like, hey, you should install Signal. Instead of, hey, instead of us talking on this insecure platform, how about you install Signal instead? That's a really great conversation start. Actually, you should, there's just somebody should make a speed dating, they should make a speed dating night, but for like privacy tinfoil nerds. Like schizoid privacy advocates. So instead of exchanging phone numbers at the end, you exchange PGP keys. Wow, I had a real good time with number 6, and I think we're going to exchange PGP keys. Someone needs to do this. So, free idea. I actually liked Duolicious because it was like 4chan that met. It was like 4chan for dating, but it was like there actually is an open source dating app. I think it's mainly filled with bots. Hello? Want to hide from the gov? They'll be your... Duolicious is... Damn, they blocked me. Because I'm on Tor. That's not very false of them. Oh, fuck. Yes, they put you at risk by not using Signal and adding you to Google Contacts. I don't save contacts, so... I mean, that's a red flag of mine. I just don't. Alova. There it is. Don't need you. Free and open source dating, guys. Most of the time, I just I convince Woo Man, uh, hey, Signal's cool because you can give a username and you don't have to give me your real phone number. So if I end up being a psycho, you don't have to block. We don't have to block each other's number, and that's enough for them. Which, vice versa, because you don't want some. You honestly do not want some crazy. You don't want some crazy bitches not like having your number. I like how they just repeat these. Open source, baby. Ad free. And they use a progressive web app. Private and secure. What up, South Parade, Tony? This is false dating, guys. This is the future. Most will be bots. And the other will be maybe they should make like a GapheneOS equivalent, and then there is obviously Duolicious, which I have been on, and I think that there are probably some real women on there probably. Like I was like doom scrolling it, I was like, is this real? It's just 4chan for date. It's just like a dating site for 4chaners, really. This is a crazy source code. Imagine you meet someone via GitHub. You see their commit polls, their commits throughout the year, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna email them. Okay. It's been updated. It got updated last month. It's not completely inactive. It's been around for 7 years. Maybe real women. True. All code is licensed under the AGPL3 license unless stated otherwise. All images are proprietary unless stated otherwise. Third-party web libraries can be found under this. What is this written in? Java? I'm out. Spring Boot? Help wanted. It's you see they have commitment issues. You should watch Silicon. I have seen Silicon Valley. Yo, wait, these guys run the shit in Docker. No use, 15 branches, 21 tags. Let's see what their issues are. Huh. Bug, can't see profiles people's I've matched with. 2026. Use UID instead of email address in authentication cookie. Top issue. Temporary teleport to other cities protocol feature. Plus protocol federation with other open source dating apps. Plus word of mouth incentives. Oh, that'd be nice. Self-signed this doc. Added a command for this reference. What is that? Wow, based. Someone comes in with a bug. Docker container fails to start. Conflict error. Cannot change the type of relationship I want. I should just do a silly one like. Remember when Danish was in love with Code Girl that made it, but it was... I only remember one scene from that entire show, and I hate to... This is one of those things that sounds great on paper, but realistically speaking, won't you just end up with 5 guys heavily in a floss privacy community as your only match? Yeah, you just match with dudes. If you're okay with femboys. Guys, you're just going to meet femboys on there. This is the only scene that I remember from Forgot How to Spell. Sam. We all make you popular. Come, no. I don't want to be popular. I want to be funny. Funny online. What is it? Where is it? Maybe real. What do you mean? Women don't exist. Jerk off scene. Jerk off ratio. I'm afraid to get a DMCA strike. How do I do it again? Where they don't copyright strike me. I got a copyright strike that didn't quote unquote impact my video because of the fucking ball dropping in New York. Fuck you, New York. And fuck whoever put a copyright strike on me. Whatever major network it was. 420, by the way.
I mean, what do we even present tomorrow? Honestly, anyone?
On stage in front of it, it's basically going to be a public execution.
Me and my coworkers did do this.
Like, I want to present. I do. It's just. Jesus, are you okay?
I'll let you go.
When was the last time you slept, Jared?
Absolutely.
You know what's funny? He kind of looks like the guy that made Ethereum. I can't remember his name.
We get to present in the prelims, so, and you know what? We're going to win. Audience.
So?
At a time, there are what, 800 guys in that room, so that's 400 times whatever the mean jerk time is?
The what?
Mean jerk time. I mean, it doesn't matter, but hypothetically, time is equal to 400 total jerks that are two-dick raped.
Unless Ehrlich jerks off 4 guys at a time, then we can cut that in half.
How would he do 4 guys? He's got 2 hands, so that's 2 dicks at a time, right?
Look, you have 2 guys on either side with their dicks tip to tip, so you're going full length. 4, see?
Oh. From the middle out, it does make sense.
Like 2 shakeways.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do, hypothetically, is minimize time, which is 800 dudes multiplied by mean jerk time divided by 4 dicks at a time.
See, I wish I was good at math to figure this stuff out. Not specifically this problem, but just like very esoteric problems.
Of course, Ehrlich would have to pre-sort guys by height so that their dicks lined up.
Not by height, technically. The measurement that we're looking for really is
Dick to floor. Yeah, dick to floor.
Call that D2F.
Huh. Oh my god.
You know, if a guy's dick was long enough, he would be able to reach up or down to another guy with a different D2F. The longer the dick, the greater the D2F bridge. I would still be able to jerk it off in one smooth motion. I would just have to jerk it on an angle.
So D2F sub 1 needs to equal D2F sub 2, and D2F sub 3 needs to equal D2F sub 4, where length needed.
Yeah! Guys?
Shit, yeah, I think it would.
Simultaneously? Similarity affect Ehrlich's ability to jerk different dicks simultaneously?
Shit, yeah, I think it would.
His headphones look really bad. Just hate him. Interesting. Feature. Move SQL queries to stored functions. Change user description, file type text. Feature. Replace password with one-time password. Give registration option without email. Swipes are not automatic. Cannot change. Add IPv6 support. That's a interesting. It's an interesting thought. Yeah, I can already see Disney or something striking me for that one. Look, I stopped it and I commented on it, and it looked pretty transformative to me. I even said a funny. If I say a funny, does it count? Okay, I love the internet. It's funny. Formative. Totally trans. Look, the world needs femboys. If Thailand, if femboys didn't exist, Gen 2 wouldn't exist. So, just saying. So, application-wise, ooh. Codeberg. Look, this was made by a furry. I know it. Night, Jay. Appreciate you coming by. I gotta get that working again. I mean, application-wise, in general, your best option is to just kind of like determine where you're going to get your applications from. It seems like possibly I will set up a way after I have to do some testing first to see how I'm going to obtain a Google account as private as possible. Obviously, with some relative like cost to it, because you got to sometimes Google will Wednesday, Thursday night can't sleep because it's almost the weekend. That's fair, as you should. Enjoy your weekend, because you need to provide shareholder value throughout the week, and if you don't provide shareholder value, how will you provide anything? So I'll do some testing with different, sometimes Google will prompt you to put a number or a secondary email address or some form of identification in order to operate under their great and beautiful ecosystem. So it could be a hit or, sometimes it is a hit or miss. And you don't always have the options to avoid it. So if I have used some temporary number services that do not work, KYC not.me is one of my favorites. Damn it. KYC not. Oh, it corrected it. Nice. So this is one of my favorite sites. I get a ton of, again, just like how my applications aren't recommendations, they're just what I use, what I've been using for a long time, and I've come to the conclusion that these are the best apps for me. There is this KYC.NotMe. If you want to be able to purchase stuff with Monero without having to do all the like confusion and like where do I go? This is a good place to start. I have yet to find that one worked with Google. I have found one that works with Google, and it wasn't a prepaid number. It was just a full prepaid number, but I paid like $5 for it. And I can verify Telomobile does not work with Tor. TrackPhone of all fucking companies works with Tor. I signed up via Tails. It worked via Tails. It was pretty easy, but it cost more than Telo. Because I was testing out how to get a number as private as possible online. Telomobile was pretty much impossible. So LNVPN, I think I used these guys once. No, I used Sim4Sat. Did I use these guys? Digital privacy on your terms. Get a VPN. No, I use these guys. Yeah. Rental numbers, long-term SMS receivers, UK numbers, Unlimited numbers, extendable rental, Bitcoin crypto node account needed. This was kind of so if I selected a country, let's just do USA, nothing came up. Cool to know. Yeah. This did work, I think. It was, but they will return your money back to you if you use Lightning. So it generates a QR code. They're on Nostr X, which is base. It's $1.44, but they will give their money. They will send it back via Lightning. They will send it back to you if it doesn't work. AI chat. Create a beginner for a 30-day fitness plan. Oh, why do they have this? It's kind of weird. VPN, don't know. eSIM, don't know. I haven't used that, but I have used the phone numbers. They seem, but it's always good to test out other products. I did use these guys. I don't know why they say it for the price of a cinema ticket, because they show their prices, and I'm going to the movies expensive. These guys look like they're new. Monero SMS doesn't work. I tried Monero SMS and it was not fun. 20-month extended. 24 hours a day access, dedicated SIM, served automatically, turning on via panel, secure SMS infrastructure for account automation verification. Forgetmyip.com. What the fuck? $48 plus a year. Clean SIM, no biz, serve, any service. I don't know why they're 10 to 18 GMT SA, serve by operator. Interesting. Kind of just What? Maybe a FAQ about this. No FAQ? Oh. I should read some more about it. Seems interesting. Price is right. Yeah. Personal, dedicated, fully or partially phone numbers of Ukraine, Russia, Community, Kazakhstan, United Kingdom to register and keep any web service with SMS verification. Maybe not them. But if you live in the UK, that sounds like an option. Maybe retry these guys. Trust is not there. But that's kind of their... I did SMS pool once, and it was... And Juicy SMS, and worst option out there. Your better option might have to be... What up, the Icon 2020? Your better option is probably... just a prepaid SIM. Like... that you're paying find the cheapest SIM provider for like a month and kind of just do it that way. If you can get direct eSIMs in general, I've used Wizard Swap. Wizard Swap is good. Proxy Store. Stealths used to give actual numbers, but this is kind of like the best option. JMP Chat is pretty sick too. You can use it with XMPP clients, but I've heard some pretty good. Like I know you can. This I've been told and confirmed that you can use this with Signal registration. The pricing is kind of interesting. You get no voice out. So, say you live in the US, and this works on, obviously, GapheneOS. Uganda, it picks like a mobile, it's called Data Plus and Plus plans. I mean, the price per gig is not super inexpensive. So if you use 10 gigs, it's $10. It's 16 bucks or something like that. I don't know if you get to choose, but damn. Alaskan's expensive. T-Mobile expensive. Seems like AT&T, Verizon the cheapest. All plans are pay as you go. No different prices on different networks in the same country. Your balance will never expire. Your plan will never expire with even with zero balance. All prices are in USD. So pretty much you just go here. You buy now. This is the Data Plus, $9 one off. Data only, internet access, 5G. But if you need internet access activations plus one US phone number, voice not available yet, from what I understand. They're willing. Alaska will break me. Well, yeah, Alaska's fucking expensive. But that's crazy. You just better be careful what you watch. One YouTube video might cook you. I don't know how much data this stream even costed. That would financially kill me. I could probably check, like, just going through my network and everything, like how much a stream costs how much it costs to stream. So inbound text only. Outbound text is not allowed to prevent spam and abuse. Voice, legacy mobile voice call services are not provided. You can make calls over messages or any VoIP application. Emergency calls are possible. So it's data plus SMS in for $98 a year. It's not bad. So you can add money so that you can use you can get gigs. So you're gonna get $5. That could be like $1 like a gig a month. And then if you, I mean, even $115. About $115? 150. So about $15 a month. 15-ish dollars a month. Yeah. A little less. You'll have $57 of data, and then you just go to the pricing and use Wi-Fi as much as possible, and there you go. I mean, what if you only use 50 gigs in the entire year? That's pretty good. What if you use 50 gigs over 2 years? That's pretty. Your plan will never expire, even with zero balance. Your balance will never expire. So, like, you could use 50 gigs spare. I wonder how easy it would be to get away with that. Like, how much you could stretch that cost per gig, depending on, like, which network you're obviously going on. Say, like, the average network costs, like, $2 per gig. Say you use only 1 gig, 2 gigs, 3 gigs within the month. And that's like what, 2, 4, like $6. If you could go extreme and try to connect to Wi-Fi as much as possible, you might be lucky. And you could spend $150 over like 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or whatever. You can't text, and you would need to use like Signal in this case. only. You would not to be able to do SMS, so you'd have to force people to use Signal. But this could be the best financial decision ever. Like, I don't think you realize how, especially if you do everything over Wi-Fi and you download everything at home onto your phone and you do a lot of stuff locally, you're not going to be using data, and you can just put it in airplane mode. I've never tried Silent Link, so I would like to indulge in it at some point. I remember it came out and I was very skeptical, and it looked kind of sus to me. But still, $9 for data only. Even if you do like, that's 100 gigs. I mean, you could probably get away with 100 gigs for a whole year. I would just do the bare minimum, like $98. Five. But the price of Monero is looking. Anytime I spend any amount of Monero, I get really sick. Yeah, so I'll probably experiment with this. Oh, wow. I wonder what... Let me think of like another... Wow, yeah, Alaska sounds crazy. Africa? Afghanistan? $7 per gig, god damn. What is, we're going to Thailand. Switzerland's gotta be expensive. Oh, shit. Damn. Thailand? Cheap? Oh, kind of. True Thailand, so still at $5. Sweden? Slovenia? Damn, Slovenia is cheap. Slovakia? Hell yeah, it's gotta be like fucking like 2G or something. How about Qatar is probably expensive. Maybe Tokyo. Japan. Yeah. United Kingdom? Damn, Alaska seems like it's the most expensive. Uzbekistan? Yeah. What does this look like? $11? Okay. Yeah, that is crazy. $54 per gig. Ooh! The Alaskan Wireless LLC. Australia's got to be expensive. No, damn. Cayman Islands? Anywhere with islands? Wow. Jamaica? Kind of. It's up there. Lithuania? It seems like all the European countries are cheap. Madagascar. Gotta be expensive. No, damn. I'm getting cooked over here with all these. Malaysia? Alright guys, we're the most expensive. Woo! Singapore? Maybe? You'd think. Zimbabwe's gotta be crazy. Whoa, holy shit. Never mind. Zimbabwe is the most expensive. $200 per gig. Yikes. Econet Wireless Private Limited. God damn, that's expensive. What would... RIP, guys. What would be largest movie in size out to date? Seems legit. I want to see what the largest movie is in terms of gigs to download. I guess largest movie in gigs. No. $4K. Yeah, 4K is the largest, but in storage size? There's $200 a gig though. The movie Avatar reportedly is over 1 petabyte of storage space for its rendering. 1,000 gigs. $200 a gig. What? 1,000 terabytes. So 10,000 gigs. Wow, that'd be an expensive movie, but you got that Monero money coming in. Imagine downloading that and explaining to the telecom. I would just disappear. What are they gonna do? Find me? Downloads 56 gigs of storage. Even 56 gigs at $270. It's $11,592. Yeah. Guys, I need to finish this movie. You trying to get through one Star Wars movie? That's crazy. Zimbabwe of all places. Zambia? Yeah, not even that's crazy. Uruguay? $200 is crazy. $200 per gig. Bo Jackson seems legit. What about Turkey? Turkey sounds... No. Damn. Sri Lanka? Nope, it's just... I've never even heard of this island. Never... Woo! What is this place? Why is it? Why is? Wait, what's Russia? Okay. What is that place? They use giraffes as towers. That'd be kind of sick. Seychelles? I've never heard of this place. Of course, French. Huh. People are going to be pissed when they get to the words at the end of this stream. They're going to be like, I thought this was supposed to be about GapheneOS. And we're getting a geography lesson. Geography and privacy go together, guys. Just so you know. They go hand in hand. Knowing where you got to flee to is important. Oh, it's in the middle of Africa. This makes sense. Christianity, Hinduism, Islam. Interesting. Whew. Is an island country. Consists of 115 islands in the Indian Ocean. It's the capital and largest city. Oh, they just took it and put it inside Africa to see the size comparison. East of the mainland Africa, nearby island territories were uninhabited prior to being encountered by Europeans in the 16th century who imported enslaved in Africa. Indians and faced competing French and British. Man, the French and British really did fuck up a lot of shit. From 1976 to 1915, normal GP grew nearly 700%, and purchasing power particularly near 16,000% since the late 2010s. The government has stagnantly encouraged foreign investment. Has the highest normal per capita GDP and the highest Human Development Index ranking by African country, according to the 2024 VDEM Democracy Indicates. Similarly, is the 43rd ranked electoral democracy worldwide. It's the first ranked liberal democracy in Africa and the second ranked electoral democracy continent. GapheneOS. Billy Bo Jenkins, what's up? Why are you awake? This is crazy. So their population's only 100,000. How are these motherfuckers worth 4.175 billion? In January 23, it announced that its final stage of competing in its marine plan, it would become the second largest ocean area behind Norway and supports its blue it has a blue economy, maybe something with fish or something. Blue economy is a term in economics relating to exploitation, preservation, and regulation of the marine environment. It's scoped to nice. So I'm about to seat who head of the state and head of government is elected by popular vote for 5-year term in office. The cabinet is president over appointed by the president, subject to the approval of the majority legislature. As 2025, the president, Patrick. Motherfucking name is Patrick. President of the Republic of Seychelles. I don't know how to say that word. He served as the Speaker of the National Assembly. Oh, wow. He was first elected to the Assembly in 93. Good night. I could use a few slaves. Well, not here, man. They've been democratized. Oh, he went to Prague. They used to have a VPN, I think. Like this country. Motherfucker has 5 kids. He went to the University of Leeds and Charles University. Oh, I went to Prague. You can be. You just got to get an island, and that's all. I like learning about like countries like this I've never heard of. Came to power after supporters otherwise the first in a coup. Wow, they have a military too. Had the highest incarceration rate in the world of 799 prisoners per 100,000 population, exceeding the United States by 15%. However, the country's actual population was less than 100,000 as of September 2014. Had 750 actual prisoners, 6% who were female, and were incarcerated in 3 prisons. Wow. Is no longer among the top 10 countries with the highest incarceration rate in 22. The incarceration rate was 287 per 100,000 population. Don't they have only a population of 100,000? Yeah, they only have a population of 120,000. That's crazy. Modern piracy is the key participant in the fight against Indian Ocean piracy. Primarily. Oh, I thought they were doing like. They were like pirating stuff. Guys, we're pirating Sony now. Please join this country that's taking the reins on this. That'd be sick if they became like the world's largest central pirate hub for fucking like they were like the Pirate Bay to go. Wow, interesting name of a country that I can't pronounce. Interesting name in general. I learned they had things that were kind of cool. Not that you only got a privacy lesson today, guys. You got a geography lesson, and you learned nothing. And you will probably not retain this information, and that's okay. That's the point. It's to fill your brain with random stuff that's irrelevant. Yes, now you understand. So you can enjoy life. The most important thing to do is to comment down below your favorite form of soup. And bread. Make sure you tell everyone that it's banana bread because it is the best bread to buy off the dark internet. I've given 2 hours and 13 minutes of my life, guys, away to you. I appreciate everyone stopping by and commenting on the video and talking to me so YouTube knows that I love them, all their policies, and I'm a real human. Remember to enjoy the rest of your night, feed your animals, and don't forget to remember the data price for a while. You should also remember to never go to Alaska and never go to Zimbabwe if you want to be able to surf the internet. That video will cost you a fortune. See y'all later.